Good day, everyone. How are you on this beautiful, beautiful day? Actually, it's a bit chilly here in Atlanta, Georgia for the 13th of May. It's crazy, but I'm so glad that you're here because we have something really important to talk about. All right. Because I know you're powerhouse mavericks, and those are individuals, specifically women in this case, that don't take no for an answer. They'll do anything in order to achieve their goals. Yet, so many of you are down and out working on the wrong things. Now, we talked about that last week, so you can take a look at the conversation that we had last week about, stop doing everything until you do this one thing. And that was all around sales mastery. So you want to take a look and go back to that particular session. But today, what I really want to talk about is what I've had a lot of discussions on over the last, I would say, good month and a half, in regard to just so many of you working on trying to figure out how to do something when you're not even really clear on what it is you're doing and why. What it is you're doing and why. So I kind of was working through this for myself over the last several weeks, as this conversation wasn't even happening with just one person, not even 2 or 3 or 5. This was like dozens of individuals were really struggling with the fact that they felt that they needed to figure out how they were going to go and sell their products and sell their services and to attract attention to their brand and to themselves as an authority or an expert. And yet, when I was talking about, well, what are you doing and why, like the real why, they just, were kind of throwing up their hands and giving very, 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 what I'll call surface or artificial feedback in regards to it. Because keep in mind something, when you know what it is you're doing and why you're doing it, all the hows kind of figure out themselves. Now, whether or not that's you doing it or someone else doing it and figuring out that how and then actually doing it. But that is kind of secondary. So I want to talk to you today about stop working on the how and focus on your what and your why. And this has a great deal to do with any one of you, whether you've been in business for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whether you are at $50,000, $150,000, or you're kind of beating your, head against the wall of going into the $1 million and beyond point. You have to kind of take stock in how much time you're spending each and every day in trying to figure out the how do I do something, as opposed to really, really locking in on the what and the why. So again, if you are really solid on the what you were doing, and I would throw into that what, not only what are you in the business of doing? What is it that your mission is? What is it that you're selling? What is it that you're positioning and to whom you're positioning it to? What is it that you stand for? What are your beliefs? What are your values? What are your traits? Therefore, what is the real meaning and purpose for what it is that you're doing? And then why is it that all of those what's are so important for you, to be able to, accomplish it, achieve it, even exceed it? And why are you going to make the sacrifices and the compromises and the investments? And why are you going to put yourself through some mind games that will come up as you work on pursuing your dreams? As you're working on the what and the why, and you're gaining that superwoman, posture, confidence and certainty and determination that this is what you should be doing. This is why you should be doing it. And this is who should be doing it, meaning you should be doing it. And, as you're all of a sudden gaining that confidence and that certainty and that knowing, all of a sudden, there is nothing in the how that you're not going to be able to handle. And that goes to kind of, how am I going to afford it? How am I going to hire it? How am I going to know what it is I need to be doing? How am I going to overcome the struggles and the obstacles and the mental games they're going to creep in and try to sabotage me? All of those hows become really simple in understanding that, yes, they could be very big tasks or activities or initiatives that need to get done. But at the same time, they're simple in that you are so clear of why you're putting your feet on the ground in the morning and running out into the world and doing what needs to get done to achieve this passion, this goal, this purpose that you've deemed for yourself. That the how is just going to come along. The answers as far as what needs to get done and how you need to do it, how you need to afford it, how you need to resource it, hire it, how you need to position it, how you need to market it, how you need to message it, how you need to sell it. That's all the answers to all of that. How will come very clearly, very simply, very flow. You ever have a moment or a day or a week or a month, and if you're fortunate, maybe a lifetime, where you are in such a flow with who you are and why you are and what you are, that everything just seems to be drawn to you. So all that struggle just seems to be lifted off. And not to say that there isn't some hard days and bad days and days that you're questioning yourself and doubting yourself and, kind of wallowing in whatever it is that you're dealing with. But at the same time, you're just so, I should stand up, right? You're just so, kind of grounded in the what and the why. You just kind of look at the how going, you know what? I'm just going to take a deep breath. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to shake it off. I'm going to kind of work it through. And I'm going to, then come back and just really stay focused on that what and why, because the how will then come. Let me give you a for instance. And this literally just happened to me yesterday morning. So I would say for about the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've really been, putting a lot of focus and attention and priority, 3 key things, if you want to make a note of that, into prepping for the upcoming Goals to Six-Figure Riches Challenge that starts Monday. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And so all this week on my to-do list, I've had my to-do list going and I know exactly what I need to be doing and when and, what needs to get done. So I got up first thing early yesterday morning and I sat at my desk and I started working and I open up my email and I get a note from someone that I just had. I appeared, because I do a lot of interviewing of other people, but I appeared on a podcast, or I pre-recorded a podcast the other day. So the first thing I'm seeing in the morning, it was about, 6:30, is a note from him saying, "Hey, Bernadette, just an FYI, I went to check out your opt-in, your lead magnet that you're positioning in the podcast, and this is what's showing on your website." And what was showing is nothing. What it was showing is that this website doesn't exist. And actually, even one step further, it was showing that this website might be, a hacker impersonating your website, and you're going to want to get out and back out and move away and do whatever you need to do. Well, I was sitting there thinking, oh my gosh. Now, I have gotten to the point, and depending upon where you are in your entrepreneurial journey, I've been 12 years in. So I've gotten to a point where when those type of things happen, and yes, my website was down. And I was at first thinking, okay, it's only 6:30 in the morning, but it's not 6:30 in the morning in Bulgaria or in Europe or in Australia or in Asia. So, I would have reason to panic, but what good is that going to do me? Right. So anyway, so I just kind of like started looking at it. I went out into my hosting service account to see if I could figure out what was going on there. I got onto a chat. Okay. And this was at this point, it's about 7:20. And so at this point, I'm chatting with a technical customer service rep at my hosting company. And I was on till 8:51. And they weren't able to solve my problem. So then I said, okay, I remember this resource, reached out to this resource. I said, can you look into it? Can I pay you to look into this? And of course she said yes. And so I kind of turned everything over to her, but then I had to spend time kind of giving her access and yada, 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 yada. But my point being is all of a sudden what, was laid out to be a beautiful, beautiful day in regards to working on the what and the why, and even the how, because the how was coming so simply because I knew exactly what and why I was doing this Goals to Six-Figure Riches Challenge. It all, my whole plan was at risk of just going to pot. And yet I want you to kind of think about something of what I just explained. I can't figure out the how. Yes, I did my initial research, but then you get to a point where you're just like, okay, this is taking way too much time. That chat took of the hour. What was that? I think it was like an hour and 20 minutes. It probably took an hour longer than I should have allowed it. I should have cut it off at 20 minutes and said, okay, I need to find somebody to take care of this, because my job isn't to figure out necessarily the how, right? Especially because of the fact that that issue had nothing to do with what I needed to do in regards to supporting and serving my client base and my community and prepping for a fabulous experience come Monday. So I had to move and keep focused on the what and the why, and even talk to myself about, okay, so yes, my site is down and I do need my site for even this challenge that's coming up. But yet, you know what? That's like low on the totem pole. And therefore I need to turn it over and let somebody else figure out how to fix the problem. Okay. And I love this, this quote I heard yesterday, and I've actually heard it before, but I was participating, as I know a number of our community members were. I was participating in the event. Of course, I can't remember the name at the moment, that Tony Robbins is hosting at the moment. It's a 5-day challenge he's hosting. And so it was Dean Graciasi. I know I pronounced that wrong, I'm sure. But Dean, who I've known, and known of for a number of years, actually. So he was talking about this idea of, where entrepreneurs just kind of throw away their time and throw away their opportunity to build their business because they're just so focused on the things that they shouldn't be. And what they should be focused on is the foundation. And that's what kind of triggered this whole idea of having this conversation today. But he went on to mention in this piece of his session, he then mentioned a quote from Jim Rohn, which really just kind of, it didn't smack me in the face. It more like, woohoo, yes, that's it. For all of my members and all of my powerhouse female mavericks and my clients, this is what you need to keep in mind. Are you ready for it? Simple, but boom, powerful. All right, here it is. Write it down. Reasons come first. How comes second. Reasons come first. How comes second. What does that mean? Again, the what and the why. The reasons you're doing what you're doing, the reasons you're making the decisions that you're making, the reasons why your to-do list looks like this, the reason why they're in the order that they're in, the reason why you've put priority on one thing over the other, the reason why you are looking to, really get laser focused and really put a lot of quality and value in what it is that you're doing. I don't care what business you're in. The reasons why you need to, make the decisions about where you're going to invest or not invest, where, the people that you're going to work with, the people you're not going to work with, the resources that you're going to acquire. You can go on and on and on and on. But the reasons you're doing what you're doing, and that would be the what and the why. I would even throw in for whom and when and all those other W's, but the how should come after that, because you'll figure it out. So think about the last time, again, I'll have you do this. Think about the last time you were really crystal clear about what it is that you want. And maybe you didn't look at it as that you were crystal clear, but you just were so determined and so focused. I don't care if it was a social thing, a relationship thing, a money thing, if it was something in your business thing. Just go back to a point in time where you were just in the groove. You were in the flow. You were solid. You were superwoman when it came to why and what you're doing. And then what I want you to do is consider kind of then what happened around you. What did the universe bring to you? And if that sounds woo-woo, trust me, I get it. It continues to sound woo-woo to me, but yet I continue to say it because I know there's a great deal of truth in it. And so, so I'm kind of working and accepting and bringing in that type of not only energy, but more so those words and that feeling. So consider, the last time you were really, really in the groove. I'm sounding so old at the moment. And then really kind of think about, okay, so what all happened? What all was created? What all did you generate? What all started just to show up? What all just started to percolate and really kind of happen in your life, happen in your work, happen in that project you were dealing with, or that money issue you had, or that relationship challenge that you were dealing with? So consider all of that, because that is your proof that if you spend time, like we talked about last week and the week before, about how, my whole platform, my whole reason for being is to ensure that each and every one of you are spending 80% of your time working on your mindset and 20% of your time working on your skill set. So what I want you to apply that same philosophy here. I want you to spend 80% of your time working on what it is you're doing, for whom, when, where, and why you're doing it. Not only why you're doing it for them, but more so also why you're doing it for yourself. And then allow the how to figure itself out. Now, I'm not saying that you're just going to walk away and be like, okay, then I'm going to go to the beach and the how will figure itself out. No. But, I want you to really, really just spend a good amount of time working through your what and why. So I'll give you another example that just recently happened. Last night, I was on a coaching call. It was with a large group, and then we broke down into a group. I think we had 4 in our group. And it was with individuals who were just starting their business. And then I think I was the most senior as far as how long I've had my business. So anywhere from let's say a year to 12 years. That's the spectrum of the type of people that were in this group of 4, maybe 5. And so the conversations were coming up, and it was getting very tactical about websites, which is fine. And it was about the how of websites. Yet then I also got triggered when it came to this space and this conversation, because here, the very seasoned people, which were 2 or 3 of us, we're sharing with the others, just kind of our process. of where we've been and how we've been and where we are now when it came to, our websites and our branding and the evolution of that over the, length of time we've been in business. And it hit me. Those two people that have been in business, for the less than a year, and I'm going to say even 3 to 5 years, because again, I've been in business for 12 and I can tell you, I shouldn't have really have done much of anything until like the 5th year when it came to figuring out exactly how I wanted to position myself, where I wanted to position myself, what I wanted to say about that positioning, and what it would look like online, as well as just how, all my process procedures, customer service, you name it. So it hit me all of a sudden that those two should not be trying to figure out what they need to be doing or not doing when it comes to a website. They don't even know their what and the why. So why are they going to the how? Why are we kind of having this conversation with them in regards to the how? Especially when it comes to a website, which is, not a little investment. And I don't care if you do it yourself, which actually came up on the call last night. And I would say to that, you thinking that you doing it yourself is free is not a CEO's mindset. Your time, every moment of your time has a cost to it. And we're actually going to go into this during the Goals to Six-Figure Riches Challenge next week, because it's something that absolutely, especially those that have been in business 3, 5, 7, 10, which is the core of who would be attending this challenge, they have to understand every minute of your time has a cost to it. So you may not turn over money to yourself like you would if you hired a website developer and you handed them $1,500. But I can guarantee you, because I've been there and done that, if you were to calculate the amount of time you would put to that website, that when you're so new, you don't need 3, 5, 10 page websites. If you calculated what you would be putting into it, trust me when I say, I bet you it's even more than $1,500, because every moment of your time that you're away from your revenue generating work, you're not able to get that hourly value, that program value, that product value, because you're over here trying to do something that you really shouldn't be doing. But that's for next week. So make sure we'll talk about it, but make sure you join us next week for our Goals to Six-Figure Riches Challenge. So I want you to really, really keep in mind that until you have a really firm superwoman foundation and understanding and confidence and certainty and determination of the what and the why, then spend very little time on the how. How do I, write a book? How do I get myself visible online? How do I, do a podcast? How do I, did I say write a book? How do I get PR and advertising, which is like the new thing that people are positioning out there? How do I do a challenge or a launch? How do I, create a funnel, a stack, even things that I've talked about? You shouldn't be doing until you really are locked in on the what and the why. So going back, I wanted to finish this. Going back to the website example. So I shared, as well as Gail, another coach that was on the call, I shared that I went out on my own in 2008. I went out as the Bose Group, and I branded myself that way. I had a beautiful $5,000 website built, and that was cheap at the time. I had all this beautiful marketing materials and collateral. And since I was working with corporate, I had brochures and I had glossy folders and you name it. I spent about $25,000 in the first 12 to 15 months on the how. How do I look good in front of other people? How do I position myself, in front of other people? How do I, secure that corporate client? yet I didn't even understand the what and the why I was doing it. And, it wasn't 15 months later, sometime in 2009, all of a sudden I'm, the keynote speaker of an event that I happen to know the person hosting it. And she refused to use my formal corporate bio and just simply said to the world, all you need to know about Bernadette is she's a ball of fire. And every hair on my body stood up. And I just kind of went into this like, yoo-hoo, without doing it out loud. But, and I just kind of went into that power pose feeling inside that after my speech, seriously, and literally, the second I sat down after my speech, I got on my phone, got on the internet to GoDaddy. I may even had my laptop with me. And I secured all the domains for Ball of Fire coaching, consulting, media, entertainment, you name it. Because all of a sudden, everything that I had been, doing the past, 12 months, 15 months, never felt congruent. I was never clear on it. I never felt confident discussing it. I never felt certain about what I was doing and why I was doing it until that very moment in time. And it just freed me to do so much more and to really build the business and do what I'm doing today. So the point of all of that was you could be 3 years, 5 years, 7, 10 years down in your business, still kind of mushy around with your what and your why. And yet you're constantly trying and chasing all the latest trends, all the latest strategies, all the latest tactics, all the latest must do, all the latest fear mongering things that, people online, especially, nowadays are telling you should be doing if you want to be successful. And if you fall victim to that, if you fall into that, you're just going to be chasing the how, and you're never going to be that superwoman, powerhouse maverick, where you are firm in exactly what it is you're doing, who it is you're serving, and why you're doing it. So that leads me into wanting to discuss with you why this Goals to Six-Figure Riches challenge next week is so close to my heart, but also is such a valuable tool and a platform for you, free for 5 days, to focus on that what and that why. And we're even going to get into some how, but I'm not going to do that prematurely. I want to do it in the order that you should be focused on it. Building the foundation first, which is what the real core premise of the challenge is to ensure that you have the foundation, and then you can start kind of adding on and enriching and pursuing the hows now that you know the what and the why. Okay. So let me just give you some information in regards to it. And this weekend, should you pose any questions, post them here, post them, on our Powerhouse Maverick Facebook page, anywhere. You can DM me, you can email me at BernadetteBose@balloffireinc.com. However you need to get your questions answered, please do, in regards to what we're going to be talking about. So I want to review that just so you're really clear. The event starts Monday at noon. So logistically, Monday at noon, right here, live in our Powerhouse Mavericks Facebook page. And the whole goal and objective I have for you is to move you into the 10% of female business owners who are generating over $100,000 in their business. Because I've mentioned to you before, and I've shared it multiple times, various times throughout posts within our community, that 90% of business owners only earn $100,000 or less. 60% of that 90% earn $40,000 or less. So you're not alone if that's where you are. And the objective of this challenge is for you to help you figure out, what are my resistance? What are my limiting beliefs? What are the reasons the lack of what and why that I have that is not allowing me to break through that ceiling of, to the 100,000, or maybe it's breaking through the 500,000, or maybe the million. But what is keeping me from breaking through and doing what is necessary in order to really have the business, but more so have the freedom, have the life that you want? That is the goal and the objective. Give you the tools, the strategies, and the mindset for you to be able to really build the type of business that you want to build. Okay. And have the legacy that you want to have. So we're going to be ensuring that over those 5 days, we're constantly talking mindset and business, mindset and business, mindset and business. All right. So every day there's an element of mindset work. And then every day in that discussion, there's also business tactics and strategies and tools that I'll be sharing in order for you to be really even leveraging them the minute you're done the workshop or the challenge for that day. You can go off and apply what you've learned into your business or into your life. And we'll have little challenges and little games for you to do, at the end of each session, because trust me, you're going to want to do them, because I'm giving away a 3-month coaching engagement with me. Okay. And a one-on-one weekly 3-month coaching engagement. So if you are even, questioning how can I get what I want to get done, what and why am I doing what I'm doing? And you're kind of lost and feel alone, you'll have 3 months with me to figure that out and get moving in the direction that you want. Okay. So I really want you in this 5 days. My objective for you is that you're going to declare, own, and achieve your goals. You're going to crush your goals. All right. You're going to have the tools and the strategies and the techniques for putting the foundation in place. You're going to be able to get even the productivity, time management, effectiveness tactics and hacks that will allow you to reclaim the time in your life. So you're not only just working, that you actually have a beautiful blend of, living your work purpose and your life purpose. Okay. I want you to be able to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, the how. Okay. But after the what to do and when to do it and why you're doing it. And then I want you to really, really be able to have an unshakable mindset that is confident, focused, clear, determined, persistent. And even when you're not, I want you to have the tools that will allow you to say, oh, hold on a minute. Something's getting in my way. I'm feeling kind of like hesitant to pick up that phone, or I really don't want to initiate that live video, or I don't want to create that product because maybe what if nobody shows up? I want to give you the tools and the tips and a formula for, really, really gaining an unshakable mindset. And when it's shook, you're going to be able to shake it off very easily and quickly. Okay. I have a foster puppy that's nudging at my arm in case he starts barking. And it's not Coco, my little one, who's sitting over here. All right. And then, ultimately what you're all looking for when I talk with you on a regular basis, I'm always asking, so, kind of what are you experiencing? What are you feeling? What are you dealing with? And you'll say, I feel like I'm just suffocating under the weight of the stress and the anxiety and the overwhelm and the exhaustion and the doubt and the fear. And I want to get rid of it. I want you to shed it, and I want you to ditch it, and I want you to throw it away and recognize that you are a powerhouse maverick. You are a bold, courageous, smart, skilled, loving, deserving, worthy individual. And no one else is going to see that until you see it. Other people might see it. They may comment, but just think that if they're seeing a certain level of it because you're not completely feeling it, well, just imagine what they're going to see and experience and feel about you when you are living your ultimate beautiful self. And trust me when I say I've been there and done that. The person I was, which I'll talk about next week, and the person I am, two totally polar opposite individuals, nasty and beautiful. And living in this space is so freeing. It's so liberating. It's so attracting. It's so abundant. It's so joyful that there's nothing I will do to put myself back in that negative, ugly mindset. I'll fight it every step of the way. Okay. So I want you to experience the same thing. So what are we going to be doing exactly when? So it kicks off Monday at noon, I had mentioned, right here in our Powerhouse Maverick private Facebook group. So Monday, we're going to be going through traits of highly successful and happy people. Now, why do we start here? Because I want you to really be able to almost like self-assess yourself. Okay, so here are the things that, highly successful, happy people do each and every day in their business and in their life. And it's obviously working for them. This is what I do, or this is what I don't do. And therefore, I need to reconcile those two and figure out, what am I missing? What should I be doing? What haven't I done or even considered? And maybe you didn't really know or understand. And that's okay. That's why we're doing this challenge, to give you all of that knowledge, all of those tools, and help you, because this is the key. I am not about the woo-woo. I'm all about the how-to. Now, that sounds contradictory to what I said, huh? It does. I just realized that. But I'm about action. Action, action, action. Nothing is more powerful than clarity and action. Nothing's more powerful than constant clarity and action. So that's what I want to provide you. So we start with a foundation, giving you an opportunity to kind of give yourself a scorecard. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's just for you. I'm not going to ask you to share it. I'm not going to ask you to do a video on it. This is just for you. These are the traits of highly successful and happy people. This is my assessment against that list. These are the things I'm really proud of, what I call riches. I'm really proud of, and these are the things I want to work on. Okay? Plain and simple. Tuesday at noon, we're going to talk about turning your vision into victorious achievement. Power pose. We're going to walk through what I call a victory plan. Victory is an acronym, and you'll have to join us for the challenge to learn what it means. And now we're already, literally, you're going to be working on the foundation of your business by defining and creating your victory plan. Okay. Now that victory plan is so powerful to where it then feeds Wednesday. Wednesday, we're going to get talking about SMARTY goals. Now you've heard the term SMART goals, and I already had a twist of my own on that, but I even have more of a twist where we have SMARTY goals, SMARTY, SMARTY goals. And we're going to be taking that vision, that victory plan that you created on Tuesday, and you're going to be turning it into those powerful, revenue generating, abundance attracting, massive producing goals that will give you the GPS, the roadmap, the guide, the what, when, and how, the what and when you need to be working on the most valuable, impactful tasks and activities in order for you to achieve where you're at right now and where you want to go short term. We're not talking about solving world hunger here or the rest of your life here. We're talking about even the next 8 months to finish out the year, and we can go 12 months to just make it a 12-month. All right. But what I want you to do is have those goals, that action plan that literally you're going to be able to start acting on, executing against, reporting and assessing and adjusting, and even being held accountable to, that will help you explode your business in a very short period of time. If you do the work, if you show up, and if you are willing to make the compromises and sacrifices that are needed. Okay, so that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to talk about the fact that I recognize that we all struggle with distractions and frustrations and interruptions and, just the self-sabotaging, belief systems that all of a sudden kind of cause us to go flat. Or like I had yesterday morning. And trust me when I say that hour and a half that I talked to you about, it actually turned out to be 4 or 5 because it kind of added on to itself. It wasn't just my technology issues. It was then a dog issue. It was this foster dog that I have that took about another 2.5 hours out of my day. Beautifully, I'm grateful that I can help. But again, so what I want to really talk through with you on Thursday is give you those tools and those strategies to understand what you need to be doing in your business each and every day to ensure you're wearing a CEO hat each and every day. So when I talked about the fact that I'm going to give you some revenue generating tips, this is Thursday. And then I'm going to give you tips and tools for making sure you can remove the distractions and the procrastination and the excuses and anything else that is getting in your way. So that's Thursday. Now, Friday is our big, credenza? No. It's our Shift to Riches Formula Day. This is a 5-step, powerful, powerful tool that I've learned, and it's my own, that from my own experience between like 2008 and 2000 and roughly 12 or 13 that I have used with my customers ever since. And it is a mindset transformation success formula. It is a tool that you can use. It seems big at first. Don't get scared. But then you can use it each and every day, each and every moment of every day for any little situation or big situation that comes up. You can just kind of pull it out. Maybe it's in a journal at first, but then it's going to be in your head going, oh, wait a minute. I need to sit down and discover really what I'm, dealing with, and so forth and so on. So you don't want to miss our Shift to Riches formula conversation on Friday. Okay. And then we're going to have a bonus day on Monday. And please make a note of that. Monday, the 24th, we're going to have a bonus day of a Q&A after you've been able to digest, catch up on the videos if you weren't there live. We're going to have a bonus day on Monday at noon Eastern time, which is going to be a combination of Q&A and then a specific discussion around revenue generating or sales mastery. Because even in the last week, as people are registering, they're asking me, hey, are you going to be covering sales? Now, that's going to be the sales where you are. Not the sales where you're, looking to be, down the road as you're trying to really, exaggerate the how that you're working on. It's going to be what can you be doing right now to generate revenue in your business each and every day. Okay. Now throughout the week, especially if you're live, because it's going to be critical that you are, there live at noon Eastern time each day. I'm giving away gifts. I'm giving away Amazon gift cards. I'm giving away journals. I'm giving away a 3-month coaching engagement. Okay. So you're definitely not going to want to miss any of it. Plus you're just going to get the bonus of really not just getting a lot of inspiration and motivation. And certainly I want to be there to do that, but I'm a down and dirty type of gal. I want you to have tools, tips, and strategies that you can go and act on right now. And so that's, kind of my core focus. So you could be taking advantage of all of that and really, transforming your life and your business in a very short period of time. Okay. So you can go to, let me see, I have it here. You can go to www.goalstoriches.com in order for you to register and save a spot for our event. Because it's going to be, something you're not going to want to miss out on. Okay. And I know you're here in the group already, but be sure to register at www.goalstoriches.com. Because one, you'll get updates, you'll get statuses, you'll get the workbook. Actually, we're going to be handing out the worksheet, day by day. And so you're going to want to ensure that you're getting all those updates and reminders and that kind of thing. So be sure to register. Plus, it's good for me to know exactly who and how many and all that that will be joining in with us and joining in with a kick-ass community of powerhouse women. Who couldn't ask for anything more. And actually, it's funny. I had a couple of the guys reach out that are in the community with us, and they're like, "Can I not attend?" Sure, you can. It's open to everybody, and I would love to see you there. So be sure to check all of that out. Okay. So until then, Monday, noon Eastern time, I'll see you on our portal and in our group. And be sure to reach out. Let me know what you need. And be sure to post any questions you have, any comments you have in regards to the challenge or anything else. And I'll make sure I get back to you. Okay. Take care, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Bye.